Tottenham 4, West Ham United 1. It was a demolition derby today for Tottenham Hotspur as they open up the return of the Premier League in absolutely scintillating fashion. They were brilliant, especially in that second half. We're going to delve into that game in more detail, but of course, hit the like button if you haven't done so yet, please. It's really important to the Terriers you do it. Most of you subscribe, but if you haven't, click the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications as well. Get that done, people. Wait to read some of your comments afterwards. Plus, we're going to react to your live comments on this stream as well. And you are right, Lawless is in the mud. He's in the mud. Listen, I'm going to say this now before I get into Tottenham. I want to say this about West Ham. I understand the need to go from David Moyes to a better manager. I understand the need to want to improve from that point. But Moyes to Lopetegui is an abomination. This is a fouled Wolverhampton Wanderers manager. Forget what he did elsewhere. We've seen players and managers alike that can do well in a particular league and not elsewhere. This man fouled at Wolves. He was awful. Why are you bringing him to West Ham? Legitimately. An awful appointment as a manager. They had a very good summer in terms of transfers, but there seems to be no togetherness. The structure's poor, and as soon as there is adversity within the game, they absolutely crumble, which is a telltale sign that the players are not really bought in to what the manager is asking them to do, and they look very, very poor at times today. They did. However, Tottenham today, they were really impressive in that second half. First half, look, they had the majority of the ball. They played well. They equalized. But they were looking a little bit susceptible to West Ham's counters, which often started centrally, and the balls would get fed out wide to the likes of Bowen and Kudus, and they were causing Tottenham problems. They, of course, won a goal down. A really good turn from Bowen, turned the doggy inside out, squared it. Brennan Johnson was caught on his toes, and it was 1-0 to West Ham. The exact same opportunity was created maybe 10 minutes earlier. And you thought, look, are Tottenham going to be able to bounce back? Are Tottenham going to be able to react to this situation? They got better throughout the course of the first half. Kulusevski was excellent today. Scores a very good equalizer. And it's interesting because Souček got pulled out of position, missed the ball, a massive hole which Maddison and Kulusevski exploited, and it was 1-1. And then Ange Postecoglou makes an amazing substitution. He takes off James Maddison. Some people are going to say it's because Maddison was having a bad game. I think that's a little bit too basic. Maddison wasn't playing poorly in the first half. But what Big Ange recognized is that Kulusevski's cooking. Kulusevski can do that job. He's in better form, and he's more likely to score goals and create. But what he did is he brought on Pape Sarr. So then you had two holding midfield players that was stopping West Ham from being able to counter-attack with the freedom, consistency, and quality that we saw in the first half. And when that happened, West Ham essentially became almost a non-entity, barring a couple of counters, one of which where Van der Ven went for the ball and missed out. They weren't really causing too many problems. You had an additional player on the field that is better defensively. They become stronger in possession, harder to counter-attack and break down. That, therefore, with that better, stronger defense, made Spurs a more potent threat. Now, in the attack, they looked good for the majority of the game. After that substitution, with that foundation, I felt they looked better. As I said, I don't think James Maddison was having a stinker and he was hooked for that reason. It was about stopping the counter-attack from West Ham. So I don't think this is about attacking Maddison. I think this is about praising Ange Postecoglou. He gets called out for not changing things, and he did very well in this game. And then in the second half, look, Son was just out of this world. Knew he couldn't really get past Wan-Bissaka. Nobody does. But he's passed inside to a doggy for the first goal. The turn from him, the calmness, pulls the ball to Basuma, who picks up, finds loads of space, buries it very, very well. A couple of minutes later, West Ham are literally, they did not need to go as attacking as they did that quickly. Poor decision from the manager. Wan-Bissaka out of position. One-time ball over the top. Todibo, actually, no, that was the fourth goal where he got twisted up. The third goal was so interesting because, again, fullbacks out of position, ball played into the channel very well by Son. Another great pass on the outside of his foot. Him and Kulusevski linking up well. Yes, there was some luck with the way the goalie saves it. It hits Todibo, hits the goalkeeper, and goes in. But they cracked under the pressure at that point. They cannot stand adversity. They are weak, West Ham, under this new leader. And then the fourth goal, as we mentioned, and they absolutely knocked West Ham out of sight in what, a space of 10 to 12 minutes. Brilliant attacking football, and then just managed the game through. Of course, there was the flashpoint as well. Look, Kudus had a really good game. Lost his head at the end. Absolutely lost his head. I don't want to see this happen in reality, but he could find himself with more than a 3-match ban. He clearly kicked Van de Ven once and twice on the floor. You could argue maybe not violent conduct, they're not big kicks, but he kicked at him, right? He kicks at him. Then he pushes him in the face. Then he pushes Sarr in the face. I mean, I don't understand how that needed VAR. It was so obvious watching it, but he loses his head. He gets sent off. He'll miss now at least 3 games, if not more. And all in all, a brilliant day for Tottenham, a well-deserved victory, and showing some real good, high-quality tactical awareness throughout the course of this game. Son looking dangerous. He really was. Kulusevski looking amazing. But West Ham, my message for you, Lopatelli is not... I can never say his name right. Lopatelli is not the guy. He is not the guy. I'm not saying go back to David Moyes. I've joked about that on some streams. I'm not saying go back to David Moyes, but this guy is not it. This guy is not it. Trust me, West Ham fans. You know as well as I do, but remember, I'm not saying go back to Moyes. I'm saying your new guy isn't the guy. He is not that man. You know, if my car's got a problem, I don't know, engine keeps cutting out, and I take it to a garage, and the garage new, I've never been there before, and they make my car worse. The mistake isn't necessarily taking a broken or faulty car to a garage. It's picking the wrong garage. You now just can't leave it as it is, right? Or keep going back to that garage. You've got to find somebody else. I'm just telling you, gut feeling. I know people say give people time, etc. Just giving an opinion. My gut feeling is it isn't going to get much better with this man. Some super chats here. You remember everybody was saying that West Ham were top 6. Now, I'm going to say something, right? People, my club, Man United, are crap right now. We are crap right now, and I know we are, right? People were telling me in the summer, though, West Ham were much better than us and would finish much higher than us in the league. Now, we're shit, but we ain't that shit. This West Ham team is atrocious. Spurs today were not that great either, but my word, their collapse was epic. Ange has won his first London derby, so that's his one. Is it really? No, that's not. Can't be the first London derby that he's won. No way. That's a crazy. Wow, that's a crazy stat. That's a crazy stat. And I don't like the height of my camera. I'm gonna have to move it. I look like I'm really short right now, and I'm not. It's just the camera angle. I've changed. I bought this camera, right, and this lens. And now the camera just isn't picking up the lens. It isn't connected, which you can clearly see it is. And I don't know how to fix it. So I had to put my old camera on. I haven't kind of lined it up right. It's annoying because I just literally bought all this. Anyway, swiftly moving on. Kudus Red just saved Ten Hag's job for next week. I'm glad we ain't got a plan with Kudus, Ten Hag or no Ten Hag. Lopetegui ruined his career in 2018 and got worst garbage manager from a Chelsea fan here. It just ain't it. Definitely not in the Prem. West Ham need to sack this bum so bad, Terry, is what Dyke says. Where on earth is Fulcook? He got injured in the last international break. That's why he wasn't playing today. I'm just trying to move this camera down. It's starting to annoy me more and more. The more I look at it, the more I'm getting annoyed by it. It's a little bit better. There we go. That's a bit better. And yes, everybody hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Panel coming now. Who we got backstage? We've got Jacob. We've got man like Jords. We've got Kate. We've got somebody called Mike. Have I seen Mike before? Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. He's new. He's relatively new to the terrace. He's joining us. I assume he's a Tottenham fan. I don't know. Is he an Arsenal fan? I don't know. I can't remember. And what kit can I see in the background? I can see a kit, a red one. Can't be Spurs with a red kit. Maybe he's an Arsenal fan. I don't know. I can't quite tell. My screen's quite small. We're going to bring them now out to have their say. As I've already said, people, get like buttons hit. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I want a big shout out to KJ as well. He's almost got our clips channel because he runs our clips channel. I don't do anything on it unless he's on holiday. I do nothing. And he's almost got it to 100,000 subscribers. So to have the main channel pushing towards 500,000 and the clips channel having 100,000, I want to congratulate and thank KJ for the brilliant work he does on that channel. And of course, all of our panelists that make our clips so wonderful and so amazing. And to anyone asking, they're full context clips because they're normally between 8 to 15 minutes long. We had one guy once used to moan, your clips always take me out of context, Tel. I'm like, bruv, they're like 15 minutes long. How are you out of context in 15 minutes? How long was your speech? Listen, let's bring the boys and, of course, Kate. The lovely Kate out now, although she's like one of the lads. That's what Jimbo told me anyway. And I mean that in a nice way. Jords is here. Kate is here. Jacob's here. Mo is here. Mike is here. Welcome back, everybody, to the football terrace. Jords, it must feel nice to stick 4 past one of your biggest rivals.
Yeah, man, definitely. It's the dirty derby. That's what me and Mike's having a chat about yesterday. And you could tell. They're like the little brother that always want to hurt you. That's all they can do is give you a low blow when you're doing 4 up. And Kudus was out there doing I don't know, UFC business. He's getting a hit on everyone. But it was nice. It was a good game. Nice to seal out a win nice and early in the second half. A good reaction from the 4-1 at Brighton. But it's one of those ones where the performance wasn't amazing. I don't feel like we needed to be that good to beat West Ham because they aren't a great team. And you could see that they're facing a lot of challenges themselves. Once they opened up in the second half, when they were forced to, once we got the 1-1, it was clear to see we were going to win. So good win, 3 points. I would have liked to see a clean sheet, but we got 4 at the end of the day. So good business was done. I'm not going to get too hyped up on it. It's only West Ham, so. Yeah.
See, as a rival, not as a rival stroke neutral to the game, I actually thought Tottenham were really good today, especially in the second half, George. I'm defending James Maddison. I don't think he had a stinker and was taken off. I just thought your manager recognized 2 holding midfield players would stop West Ham, and you became a much stronger team in that second half.
Yeah, most definitely. I think once you made that tactical change, and it's nice to see from Ange because a lot of people have questioned his tactical adaptability in games. He really doesn't make the changes early, and we saw that. He brought Sarr on. Game change, you had that double pivot, made us a bit more safe at the back, and you could see as the game went on, we went to manage it a lot better. The question with Spurs is why we play the game like it's basketball. It's constantly back and forth. But we saw in the 70th minute when we had the ball, we were trying to soak up pressure, get West Ham to bring out all their players, and then we start moving the ball forward. So it was a better managed performance, a good one, and it's one of those ones you can take some confidence from, but we'd like to see we'd see us build from it in the bigger games, because like that comment did mention, it is Ange's first win in the London derby, and that is surprising. It is a big stat and one that he needs to take forward. I don't know if that's counting the likes of Crystal Palace now. I think it is just Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham. I think they're the only 3 teams that they're counting in that, but yeah, man, he's got to get over that.
Yeah. I'd be mad if it was literally all teams that are in London. But no, I hear you on that. And by the way, Mike, I just realised you're a West Ham fan. It's not red, it's claret. Oh, mate, poor lad. No disrespect. So what you're doing, we'll come to you in a minute. Kate, what did you make of your team's performance and victory today?
No, it was a good performance. I thought it was a good performance. I thought Kulu was excellent again. Ange got it wrong against Brighton, and today got it right. He made a sub that I questioned at the time. I didn't see where he was going with bringing on Sarr and taking off our creativity in Maddison, but it changed the whole game, and I thought it was an excellent second half performance. West Ham, we were told, even fellow Spurs fans told me that West Ham have won the transfer window. They're a better team than we are. They've done better business than we have. And we made them look stupid today. And I think Ange needed this win. I think Tottenham fans needed this win. And I feel good. I thought, like I said, it was a good performance, but it is only West Ham at the end of the day. They think they are bigger than they are. They was all over their Twitter today saying, let's paint North London claret and blue again. There was a bit of a fire drill in the second half, and they all disappeared. But yeah, nice afternoon or nice morning, blowing bubbles.
Absolutely. Mike, as a West Ham fan, you guys did have on paper a good window. I know a lot of you wanted Moyes to move on, but it feels as though between the transfers you've made and the manager you've appointed, you've gone backwards in a dramatic way this season.
Yeah, I was happy with the transfer window, of course. Like, the manager got pretty much everything he wanted within his first transfer window. It's very rare that you get a new manager in and they get this much in their first window. He wanted 2 players in every position. He's got that. I was obviously going to get any behind any new appointment just to back them, but once I saw what was going on the pitch as the season was going on, like when a new manager comes in, you kind of know what they're going to do, what their style is, what their intention is. You see that with Maresca when he comes in, with Ange when he came into Spurs, Emery when he came into Villa, etc. With this manager, I don't know what he's trying to do. It's like he's trying to switch up the game, completely different every match, where he goes either completely direct or might try and play on the floor against some teams. When you keep tweaking it like that and keep completely changing the whole lineup and the whole style of play every game, it's never going to gel. And I wasn't one that had much expectation anyway in the first season, but the problem is, all I wanted was the manager to instill whatever his style of play was into the squad, and then see if we could kick on and try and finish in Europe the next season. The problem is, I don't know what his style of play is. I don't know what his identity is. And I feel like with the squad that he has at his disposal, he doesn't really have many excuses. And I feel like if you can't get a trio, Paquetá, Kudus, and Bowen to work together, then something's wrong. And I feel like football is very simple. Everyone tries to overcomplicate everything. But like, if the manager's not getting the best out of your players, then something's wrong. And I'm not expecting everything to click straight away. But what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do?
Well, this is the thing, and I completely agree with you, mate. And all banter aside, David Moyes got you to a level where you'd won European Cups, you played in regular European football, and of course there are games where you get beat because you're not Man City, you're not Real Madrid, but you were hard to beat. You got a lot of good results over a 5 or 6 year period against the big sides. And you built there's a foundation there, and a new manager should be coming in with this group of. You have got very good players at West Ham. You should be going on to another level. I just don't think this manager. You're not in a rebuild situation. It's not a broken squad who have been in the doldrums for 5 to 10 years, and you're trying to fix it. You were European Cup winners 2 seasons ago. You were a side that everybody was talking about. Could they push a Man United or a Tottenham out of the kind of top 6 conversation? And now, if you keep playing like this, you're a relegation candidate.
That's the thing. Like, I don't think, obviously, we could be down there. Like, you're never too good to not be down there. Luckily, this league is that bad that I'm quite comfortable with the fact that I don't think we'll get relegated. But this is my problem. I never put my chest out there for this club because this club always lets me down. And at the start of the season, I never said West Ham top 4, West Ham top 6, all of this. I just said, no, I even said 10th and I wasn't expecting much. I said, I want to see what this club is trying to do. And the thing is, with the manager from the previous manager, David Moyes, he kept falling. Like, as the squad got better, he got worse. And then, like, last season, we had this as well with the batterings: 6-0 against Arsenal, 5-0 to Chelsea, 5-2 to Palace, 5-1 to Fulham. Like, we had this last season, but this is a completely different squad. The manager doesn't have any excuses, really, and it's very rare that manager gets his first season.
I agree. I think I said at the top of the video, Mike, I think West Ham have got to a point where it was right to move on from Moyes, but Moyes to Lopetegui has been a mistake, and I think that people are getting caught in that kind of binary argument of Lopetegui or keep Moyes. No, I get you had to move on from him. I think he had gone his course. But the manager you brought in he flopped and fouled at Wolves. I still don't understand why a club like yours, as under Moyes, got to a really good level and it just started to get a bit stale and a bit old and needed change. It's just such a mistake because I think you've got some really good players. And if you don't start to improve, you know what's going to happen. The Arsenals and the Chelseas and the Tottenhams and whoever else are going to come in and start trying to take some of those players away. Jacob, from your point of view as a Tottenham fan, you must be chuffed with today. What did you make of your team's performance?
My manager. I just want to say, shout out my gaffer, Ange Postacoglu, because I feel like this whole international break, all has been is wham from Tottenham Hotspur. You tune into YouTube, it's Tottenham Hotspur fans crying. And you know what I hate more than Tottenham Hotspur? Yeah, hello, Kate. How you doing, Kate? Shout out,
I
Craig.
haven't been crying. I've been off YouTube. That's what I've been
Well,
doing.
I just know
crying.
Jimbo's always the one that I want to talk to about Tottenham when it comes to the lovely couple over there. Big up Jim and Kate every time. But it's just a lot of Tottenham fans were crying. All internet, we never did X amount of X and yada yada. We never did X amount of this and yada yada. I don't care. What I care about is what we're trying to do today, what we're trying to do tomorrow. And what I saw today, this morning, is one of those things like, bro, I woke up at 5 a.m. for this kickoff. I rolling out of bed, trying to find a reason to get excited, and I'm seeing things on the pitch that get me excited and get me up out of my bed. So honestly, that's what I'm thankful for. Thankful for the win. It should have been 6. Son should have had a hat trick as far as I'm concerned. Very unlucky to not get that own goal. For me, the first 25 minutes, I thought Maddison was awful passing. He couldn't complete a single pass. He was absolutely awful in connecting the play at all. And again, I just woke up, so maybe I was wrong. But when he got subbed at halftime, I said, good. Maybe Ange saw the same thing I saw. And then Sarr comes on and we bang 3. So to me, they're always going to say, but Ange is too naive. But he doesn't have an idea. He just stands there on the touchline. Yeah, he was standing there on the touchline today with a 4-1 win. So, and Mohamed Kudus, what a player! First of all, before he lost his head, that guy is quality. Left, right, doesn't matter. Center, he'll take the ball wherever he wants to go. Hell of a player. Deserved his goal. Could have had 2 or 3. But at the end of the day, you got to keep your cool. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him get more games tacked on at the end of that, because that was ugly to see. As a Kudus fan, I thought that was ugly.
Yeah, I did want to ask you about that. Yeah, you did push the guys in the face. We always ask this question though: what did you make of your 6'5", 14-stone centre back going down holding his face, and then I am hard Bruce Lee, Richarlison doing the same? What did you make of the play acting from your?
Well, let's be fair to Richarlison. He was fighting the ref and Kudus, so he was getting punched by 2 people there. And when it comes to Mickey Van de Veen, he got smacked in the face. Of course you go down. Everyone in this sport gets smacked in the face. You go down. This isn't UFC where you get smacked in the face and you smile at the guy. So when you go back to before he goes to the booth for the review, you go back, you look at Van de Veen's face. You can see he's very white. You can see a very red handprint on the side of his face. When white people get smacked, you can see the redness on their face. I'm telling you. So the evidence is there. What is there to dispute?
Also, wait, we always gave Arsenal, very recently, all the props for playing the dark arts. And sometimes I think the players need to play into that. When you get hit, you know what you got to do. You got to go down. Terry, just like you, I was a little bit disappointed. I was thinking, I wanted to see some fight back from our players, because they did look a bit like, all of them went down. We had 3 players on the floor at once holding their face. It was a bit embarrassing, but you got to play the game.
The Richarlison thing was a little over the top, but Van de Veen I felt was justified. You get smacked in the face, you go down.
Richarlison accidentally was headbutted. His one might have actually hurt, right? But do you know what makes me laugh about it, right? I love perception. When it's your own team, you defend it. I get it. And I always say, in reality, players have to go down, because if they don't, when they get pushed in the face, referees don't give it. I remember years back now, this was when Jack Wilshere literally headbutted Fellaini, because Fellaini was genuinely hard. He just laughed at him, didn't get sent off. If he went down holding his face, he would have got a red card. But I do find it funny how when there's a certain player in my team who wears a captain's armband, when he goes down doing that, everybody goes mental. Other players do it, and it's fair play. It's football. I love perception. I love the perception based on who does it. But no, rightful red card, 100%.
Absolutely not.
I do want to differentiate.
That's absolutely not the right comparison, guys. That's not the right comparison.
No, it is.
Van de Ven was hit in the face. When they did the VAR, look at the movement. It was a slap and a hit in the face. Bruno Fernandes, you touch him, and then he falls down, whine on the floor, keep crying on the floor. It is not the same. It is absolutely not the same.
I'll tell you why you're wrong. I'll tell you why you're wrong, Mo. I'll tell you why you're wrong, Mo. And I know you're only 5 foot and wind blows you over, right? So I get this.
100%.
But the thing is, but where it is the same comparison is that Van de Ven was holding his face on the floor like he'd been right hooked. And then when the referee hadn't done anything yet, he jumped straight up and said, look at my face, right? He was fine.
That's how red it is. Yeah.
I agree with you. that Bruno Fernandes acts like a baby as well. The point I'm making is this has happened for an eternity in football. Some players get labeled with being a play actor or being nasty and aggressive, and then other individuals can do it and get away with it. Give you an example, Romero on Spurs. If Romero goes in slightly over the ball, every Spurs fan knows he's getting a red card. However, There'll be Saliba might make that same tackle because he's not looked at as an hard nut and aggressive. He'll get away with it. And I'm not trying to defend or attack anyone. I'm saying I love the fact that the point of perspective in this world, like your personal feelings towards a player, always impact how you feel about a decision. That's all I'm saying.
To be honest, Terry, the push on Sarr, I think, was worse than the push on Van der Ven. He literally went up to Sarr and pushed him straight in the face, and Sarr stood up to him. He's just a little rat. He lost his head. He deserved to
We
go.
need to unite
Africa. He deserves multiple game suspension, not for one red card. What he did, if it's consistency in the league, this should be treated as 2 incidents. One is the first one. Listen, didn't they give Martinelli for 2 incidents, 2 yellow cards?
Well,
if you hit somebody and then if you hit somebody and then you hit someone else while you're walking out of the pitch, that's another incident. This should be treated as 2 incidents.
Well, this happened
it's
before.
not one incident. Come on.
But I think
it happened before. Sorry, when the very famous Aguero game for City when they won the league, Joey Barton was sent off. I think he hit 2 or 3 people. He got like a 7-game ban because it was more than 1 red card. And, in fairness, though, I always think this: if you're going to hit someone and get a red card, you might as well hit 4 people.
That was the thing I was angry at the most. He didn't hit him properly. Like the game's done. You're gonna get a red.
At least get a good shot in.
Leave him something because you don't want to play under this manager.
Speeding, right? I'm not saying Speeding is bad, but if you're gonna get done and get points on your license, do 40 and a 30. Why are you doing 31, bruv? Like, at least get there a little bit properly quicker. Mo, what did you make of the game in itself today? Because Spurs, especially in that second half, they look very, very, very potent. Or is this, like some people are saying, more about West Ham being bad? How do you see it as a neutral, Mo?
It's about West Ham being bad, to be honest with you. It's Spurs played all right, but it's about West Ham. The reason why, at the end, Spurs attack, fell 1-0 behind. If there was a better team defending, this could have ended 1-0 or 1-1. Again, Spurs, I like that the game that Spurs play, attack. I still think that sometimes they're wide open at the back. Doggy was defending, was like, what is he doing? Like marching the guy to the byline, Bowen asking him to cross. Nobody wants to defend
after the goal.
Yes, but the point is, my friend here, I don't know the name, my friend, the West Ham fan here. I don't know your name, bro. Okay, Mike. To be honest, Jacob, West Ham are horrific, bro. They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. You fall 1-0 behind to another team, you might not come back from it. By the way, as much as you attacked in the first half, you guys know that before this scored, you had 0 shots on target. So huffed and puffed again, no spaces, right? And then you started attacking it all and making saves here and there, and you started having some teeth, and now I thought the goals were coming. But I'm going to say this again. Some of the players that Spurs are not great when the opposition are parking the bus in the 18. Maybe you need to open up a little bit, play a little bit, give the opposition a chance to come out of their area, right? This could have been went completely off for Spurs, by the way. I like that Son scored, Kulusevski scored. But you guys watched the game, and I'm sure that every Spurs fan went like, oh my God, here we go again. We attack, we have the ball, we're 1-0 behind. Are we going to come back? Are we going to win these 3 points? We're the better team on the pitch. For some reason, after last season, after watching Spurs many games now, the plan looks fine. Sometimes the execution fall behind. That's why you might not make top 4. That's why we're not. I'm looking at the Spurs. I can't back Spurs to make top 4.
It's never in doubt.
I can't. And for me, I said it last season. I said it to Terry on Straight Facts. Spurs made me believe in the Spursy thing. Today, the first half looked like the Spursy thing. You look like the better team. A very weak team like West Ham, 1-0 up. Just because of one mistake. One mistake. And that is my problem.
They scored on our second mistake. So they had a chance on goal before that, which was our first mistake. Our second mistake is the one that they capitalized, and then they failed to capitalize on the third mistake. Now, again, I get the reluctancy to believe in the squad because you sound just like a Tottenham fan.
Not the squad. The team looked good, Jacob. It's the whole system, players, plus the manager, plus everything. The players look good. Bro, Kulusevski looked phenomenal today. Amazing. Son looked very good. For some reason, it's the whole system. It is not about the manager being bad, Jacob. I'm not criticizing the team. Van de Ven looked good. The problem is I don't know what it is. Someone needs to put their hands on on what is going on. George was going to say something.
I was gonna say. So when you said that when we went behind, you felt like it was gonna be reminiscent of one of those other games. I'd have to disagree. I feel like when Spurs go behind early in a match, I'm more confident in Spurs that we're gonna come back into the game. The reason I say that is because that's gonna leave a team to sit back low, defend deep, and if they score early, they're gonna have to open up at one point. And that's where it was. We started to keep a lot of the ball. West Ham started to get compact, and yeah, we did struggle to break them down. I agree, but once West Ham did open up for that little second in about 30-40 minutes in, because they realized, oh, there's gonna be some space in the behind the Spurs. We caught them in the transition. We caught them in the counter-attack. And then after 1-1, we know that we're going to grow into the game. We know that we're going to build into it. Like you said, West Ham aren't good. Once they tried to open up, there was so much space in behind. And you have to say, Sonny, Kulusevski, they were phenomenal today.
You're making my point, George. You're making my point, right?
Yeah,
that's my point. Like, you need to have a little bit of time when the other team give them a chance to open up. Allegri used to say that before when he used to coach Juventus back in Italy. And he said, sometimes when you're attack, and the opposition are not coming out of their areas, maybe give them a little bit. You did it. And then you tore them apart, right? That's what I'm asking for sometimes. Watching Spurs, I'm like, maybe you give the opposition a little bit of space.
We did that versus Brentford. Dominated them as well. We did. We have done that. That's my point. Like, but this whole notion that Ange doesn't adapt and he's too naive and he doesn't switch things up. He changes and we win in different ways.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mogenda in full force. I want to let you know here. If you ever wonder what Mogenda means, this is it here.
Patent pending.
What is the agenda here?
Patent pending.
Got some super chats here. Nav says West Ham overachieve, back to the Championship, aka Norwegian League. Change the name from West Ham to Offham. You was Offham. You was in date. Now you're expired. Piss off with you. Nav is a Chelsea fan, by the way. So just to put that into context, thank you for the super chat, Nav. Chelsea fan here. Second half from Spurs was very good. Moment of madness by Kudos, but he always looks bright. I'd love to come and have my say. How do I? Reach out to KJ on KJ's backstage. Put your Twitter handle, KJ, in the thing, or go to our Football Terrace Twitter account and search it on there, my friend, and you'll be able to see it. Who are Spurs beating to the top four? The rest are levels.
Potentially Chelsea.
That's a great question. I don't know.
I don't have us in the top four, so
I think it's possible. I think it's absolutely possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's kind of where our transfer window led us to, in my opinion. The Solonkis, the signings that we've done, that's to kind of get 4, 5, 6, stay kind of right where we are. I didn't see it as any major difference. Now, if Aston Villa fall off, I think that's the spot we take immediately. Are we considering Chelsea right now? Because when we were 10 games undefeated and we were top of the league, it was, no, let's just temper our expectations. But since it's Chelsea, 7 matches in, now they're saying top 4, even Chelsea fans saying title charges on. So I want to know where we stand.
They are in Spurs, bro.
Well, Chelsea are amazing. Just remember one thing. Chelsea are doing big things this season. Don't even get into that conversation.
What I will say is this though. Like, I think it's open still because, I mean, I know they haven't played yet this weekend, but Spurs are only a point behind those two. That's what's really interesting about the early stage of the season. You go on a little run, win a couple of games, and suddenly, you know, you're in contention. But I think that Spurs are in a top 4 race. Whether they make it or not is another question. A Guna here, a Bermuda Guna says, congratulations, Spurs. West Ham was see you in 2025. Okay. Well, you're getting lost in the Bermuda Triangle. What's going on? Where are you going? Where are you going for the next 3 months, bro? Cal here, who's one of our long-standing Spurs fans on the terrace, is utterly stunned at this Kulusevski form. Not put a single foot wrong from the start of pre-season. Fair play to him. Needed a result like this badly. Yeah, I think you did after the last game. Blaze here says, by the way, Sarah. Sorry, you mean Sava, Sarah. Called it to a T. He's and out, but said they would batter West Ham today, and all Spurs creators will do revisionism like they did versus Everton. In fairness, no, I can't speak for people off the football terrace, but nobody on the terrace has done revisionism here today. Also, nobody on here. So there we go. Don't worry, Kudos Arteta will visit you in January. Look, I want to thank. Sorry.
What world do you live in? It's like, what for you to get Kudos in January?
No, it won't happen in January. It'll go in the summer, in my opinion, if he keeps his form up. That's
He's
no,
so good.
That's no.
There's an
disrespect to
85
West
million
Ham.
release clause though, so it's going to be
Yeah,
interesting.
but I think he's worth it. I'd pay 85 million for him now to replace Anthony at my club. So I definitely do that. Look, I want to thank everybody that has tuned in. We are going to be live again after Man United versus Brentford. I've got to go and endure that right now. This video is going to take you to Hassam's watch along. So go and watch that now, people, and enjoy it. Listen, until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. Congratulations to Tottenham Hotspur. Commiserations to West Ham. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Peace.
See y'all.
We're still live, by the way. We're still live. It hasn't stopped. It hasn't.